So we got ourselves a podcast.
Oh, Lord, a podcast.
Long time coming.
What has he talked me into?
I've talked about it and talked about it.
Not my thing. I'd rather TikTok it all day long, do live videos. I just can't sit here and just talk.
Well, I finally pulled the trigger. Here we are.
You sure did.
But it's very frustrating. Hey, if you're listening, which is probably going to be very few, but if you are, I'm sure you don't know how to get a podcast started, but wow, that's all I got to say. The first equipment I ordered.
Send it back.
Sent it back.
Had to send it back.
Was happy with it. It was a mixer. You could, add in things.
It looked really cool.
Looked cool. Had all kinds of dials. It wasn't expensive. But, it wasn't a low end either. But, sounded great to begin with. Then when we recorded with it, when you recorded, you heard a all the time in your ears.
Her static.
Yeah. And then static. And then your mic kept going in and out. And then sometimes you couldn't hear on your headphones. So it hurt me so bad to send it back. But I did.
Thought he was going to cry.
Well, no, because I didn't have a backup. It was like I was pumped up. It was finally going to happen. And then I was let down. So I sent it back. But as I decided when we was going to box this thing up the next day, that night I was like YouTubing videos and equipment, this, that, and the other, reviews, all this, and finally got something. Really happy with it. So we bought a bundle, headphones, microphones, a recorder. It's called a Zoom PodTrack P4. So far, very happy with it. But so what's going on in your world? We just got through eating Chinese just a little while ago, so I'm happy right now.
Right now, I'm just scrolling through, though, Temu. Anybody addicted to Temu?
We went through the Temu for a while. We had a booth. I don't know if we want to talk about the booth. Like a consignment store. We rented a booth. I had it for 10 months, almost a year.
I still have a booth, by the way, at a different place.
Yeah, you do.
Doing wonderful.
Yeah. Anyway, we did really good with the booth. We finally figured out you had to have a good mix of stuff to sell. I was going to try and sell some woodworking stuff in there to start off with, and that was really slow. I sold some, but, I couldn't keep paying the rent if that's all I was selling. So then she started these nails. What are they called?
Press-on nails, red aspen press-on nails.
Yeah, and so she put some of those in there, sold that. Then I got some toys. I found clearance toys. We found a few sources for this and that. We got on this Temu. Oh, my goodness.
Cups. Cups were a big hit, like your Stanleys, but, they weren't.
It's just what I call
the real Stanley. They're dupe. Stanley dupe.
It's like a tumbler. It's just a tumbler.
Yeah, it was a tumbler.
But all colors.
We had blinged out tumblers. We had cow tumblers. We had Lisa Frank's tumblers.
So we sold, just out of this little 8x10 booth, over 100 of those cups.
Yes.
And selling them for $24 a pop. And got some, depending on, that's the thing about Temu. That's the source we bought them from. I don't know how anybody else you could make money, because if you ordered them anywhere else, my goodness. They were probably like $18, $16 cost, but we got ours for $10 cost, $12. You could get some on Temu where, you bought two and you got one free, or was it something? Or no, you were limited to you could get two for like $3.99 or $3.62 a piece.
You just had to check it all the time.
You had to check it all the time and keep adding to your cart and everything. So as long as you kept checking it, you could get some really good deals. So if you're buying something at $3 or $4 a pop, like that tumbler, and you're selling it for $24, my goodness, that's how we did so good.
We did good.
Yeah, but then the clearance toys, I found a bunch, held on to them till it got closer to Christmas, sold a bunch of that. And the last 2 months we had the booth, we didn't actually put any money into it. Yeah, we did really good with that. And like I said, it got it the last 2 months of it. We had some totes of stuff. We had a room dedicated to, inventory for it. But it was 5-6 totes. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff, but that's what carried us through. It was already paid for. So last 2 or 3 months, we just kept, restocking out of those totes, and did really good and cleaned up well. And come January, we just decided, hey, it's about time. Plus the rent went up. So we thought, we're out.
We're out.
Yeah. So
I went to a lady's boutique, put my nails in there, and I'm doing better than I was at the other booth. So,
well, we were doing the thing where it's like vintage type. It's not, I wouldn't call it flea market stuff. It was a nice place, a new place that opened up. And, but your clientele, they weren't coming there. But you did sell some nails.
I did sell some.
Yeah, but a boutique is exactly what you needed for those nails. And yeah, you're doing good.
And hair clips. That was big thing too. Oh my Lord. We sold that heck out of hair clips.
She would get a deal on these all size types, colors, hair clips through Temu. And my goodness, I never thought people needed as many hair clips as what we sold.
Girls need their hair clips. They need all different colors to match their clothes.
Well, I know, but I thought you would have enough.
Nope. You can never have too many clips.
It's kind of like Easter time, Easter baskets. You go to Walmart, they've got 1,000 on the shelf. You're thinking, do people not have them from last year? And they sell 1,000 more that's on the shelf.
No, you don't keep them. You throw them away.
I guess.
We've been throwing away stuff around here. Tired of hanging on to it. Just get rid of it. You're not using it, get rid of it.
That's right. The thing I saw one time, it said if you're cleaning something and you come across stuff, you haven't used it in 2 years or longer, chunk it. Yep. Get it gone. Until I did my thing a couple of days ago when cleaning out a little drawer on the desk, I was just going through just like chunking stuff. And it's just a little adapter that goes in your phone that hooks up to a 3.5 millimeter end. And I'm like, Dad, we ain't used this thing in forever when they upgraded these phones and all. Chunked it. And I'll be doggone it the next day. I did not need that. I haven't needed that thing in 8 years and needed that thing to help do an adapter to go to one of these, this pod track to hook up a cell phone on it. But that's a different story. So maybe you don't want to live by that. So anyway, today you were gone. What did you do today? You were at church.
I was at church, which I work at our church, and we're doing a new directory. And so we were, this was makeup day on pictures. So we had about 12 people come in, I guess, 12 couples. So I sat there from about 9:30 till 2 o'clock, letting the couples and the families come in, and we had a photographer there, and she took their pictures so they could get in the directory too. They missed the first time.
So I smell like smoke because I burnt a stump all day.
Yeah.
Cleaned up at my mother's house, just trying to take care of some stuff while it was nice weather before it gets, hot and the snakes are out and the ticks and all that stuff.
Did you really have to say that word?
Yeah, which one, the ticks or the snake? Yeah, she doesn't like the snake word.
Really? You're going to keep saying it.
We'll say the S, the S. So, what was it, 3 years ago? I'll tell this story. Might as well tell this story.
Yeah, has it been 3?
I think it's been 3 years ago. It was the first. It was when COVID was going on.
So it was 22.
Yeah, COVID started. In 20. Yeah, COVID started basically in that March. All right, so July 4th, we were sitting out. We cooked. We sat out on the deck, overlooking the lake, and they have fireworks. And I turned off the lights. It was well, yeah, that's why I turned the lights off. We were watching fireworks because it's real nice, real beautiful, all that good stuff. I mean, if you've never seen fireworks, with water, I mean, it's amazing. It looks really good. But anyway, so we watched that, and our son, we don't go in the sliding glass door. We walked around to the side door, and anyway, so he got up and he walked in before we did, about 5 minutes before we did. So anyway, so we decided to go in. So we walk, and like I said, all the lights outside are off, because we want to see these fireworks. So we get around to the front door, and Amanda's in front of me, and she opens up the door to the house.
No, the door was already open. We had left it open for some reason. We don't usually do that, but the door was open.
Was it open?
Yeah, it was open.
Okay, I thought you would. Well, he must have left it open.
Yeah,
then.
he probably did. Okay. That is right. He probably did.
Yeah, sometimes we leave that door open. It's like a little foyer thing. So you actually go up steps and you open up another door to go actually into like the house. So walked around there, got to the door. I thought it was closed. Apparently my mind's going. All of a sudden, Amanda like screams and goes, "Snake!"
No, I didn't. I said it got me.
Oh, it got. That's right. That's
said
right.
it
I'm just
got
not
me.
remembering the story very well at all.
Whose
am I?
story is this?
Yeah, it's your story, and I should let you tell it. So yeah, that's right. She said, and it was the weirdest voice that you said. It got me. It was very dramatic, but it should have been dramatic because of what happened. But anyway, so
Jumped in the car.
well, I know. I'll get to that point. I'm telling the story, remember, as I remember it. All right, so she like jumps back towards me. Like any other time, this should have been me, right? That would have been in front of you. So either way, it'd have been you or me. So she like jumps back, and as
I had flip-flops on.
you had flip-flops as well as I did. So I look down, and like I said, it's dark, so you're not seeing. I mean, it's not pitch black, but you can see a little bit. So all I see is a tail going into the house, going into the foyer right there. And I'm like, oh my goodness, now I've got a snake in our house. So I don't know at this point if you'd gotten in the car right there in the drive.
Yeah, I was gone as soon as that somewhere to get off the ground.
All right, so I go around, I go to the deck, I bang on the sliding glass door, and I tell Nicholas to turn the light on. We call it the red room. That's the little foyer room. I said, go to that door. I said, and turn that light on. I said, and see if you see a snake. And then unlock this door and let me in. So he lets me in. So as I get in, and I'm now in the house, at the door, looking down the steps at the foyer in the red room. The door's still, open. And all I see is the back end of a snake going back outside the door. So I'm like, it's a miracle. It's such a blessing, this snake. Because if he'd got in there, if he'd got under the couch, we've got a couch, a TV, a refrigerator.
Don't worry about your wife over here in the car.
No, well, I'm trying to. Well, I've got to figure out what kind of snake this is. But anyway, so it's like this room is almost like just a lived-in area of our son because he plays video games and has friends over, and that's where they stay. So anyway. So I'm like trying to make sure before I came in there that Nicholas did not open that door up and let the dogs out or anything out, to run into that snake. So anyway, so now I'm seeing the snake's tail go out of the room. So now I'm opening up the door. I go down the steps. I'm coming up to the door that goes outside. I open it up and I look and I know the snake had gone to the left. Well, to the left, I've got a electric smoker that's out there right outside the house against the, on the carport. And so it's under there. So I go run up to the garage, or a little building. I tell Nicholas, I said, keep an eye on this. Do not let that snake go. If he goes, just follow him, whatever. So we get a flashlight. I run up there, get a shovel. We're coming back down. By this point, our neighbor, didn't she come down at this point?
Yeah.
So now I've got Amanda's in her car, and the neighbor has came down, and the neighbor is sitting in the passenger seat of the car.
Because I screamed.
Yeah, she knew something was up. Of course, our other neighbor on the other side of us, like, whatever. So I come down there, and like, y'all are just sitting in the car chilling. It's just a really funny picture. I'm out here trying to identify a snake. So I lean down, shoot the flashlight underneath the smoker, and once I see, bam, it's a copperhead. I'm like, all right, game changer. So now I'm like, do I take the time to move?
We're freaking out.
Yeah, do I take the time to try?
My foot's swelling.
Your foot's swelling.
It got me on the foot.
Right. Well, we figured that.
Was that a given?
Yeah, because you said flip-flops. So.
Okay.
But, so now I'm like, all right, I moved this smoker out of the way. This thing slithers. It might get away. I won't be like banging at it with this shovel, whatever. Or I'm like, everything's, it's time sensitive now. She's got to get to the hospital. So I think, Kelsey, didn't she called?
Yeah, she called the ambulance to see what to do.
Or called 911.
911, yeah.
Yeah, to see what to do. So, anyway, I'm trying to make this story short as possible. But it's not, because it's still going to go on for a while. So, I get the snake out, kill it. I've got it on this shovel. Take a picture of it. She's on the phone, 911. We're going to take her to the emergency room. I have to bring the snake with me.
Oh,
so
they can't.
So they can't take my word that this is a copperhead. I'm like, I know this is a copperhead. All right, bring the snake with you. So we put the snake, and I'm not fond of snakes either now. I used to be really scared of them. For some reason, I'm not as bad now, maybe because of this. Because you took one for the team. That should have been me, and you took. Yeah. So we put it in a garbage bag. And I'm like, this thing is not riding in this car just in a garbage bag.
No, I can't do it.
So I get a tote. I empty a tote out, like sling something out of a tote, put it in the tote, snap the top on it, open up the back of the car, throw it in there, slam it, and we're gone. So we're headed to Mercer. Did I turn the flashers on? Surely I turned the flashers on.
I think so.
Yeah. So we live probably 15 minutes from the hospital. All right. So we're going, her foot's swelling. We get to the hospital. I'll let you out at the front door, right?
Remember, this is during COVID.
I'll let you out the front door.
I think you ain't got a wheelchair. Because I think by this time I couldn't walk on it.
Yeah, you couldn't walk.
Yeah.
So I let you out, and I'm thinking, did I go park the car? Then I came, nobody,
No.
and then had to come back with the snake.
Yeah, you had to bring the snake
Okay.
back.
So I get there. I don't think the security guard is out there at this time. I don't think anybody's out there. I get a wheelchair for her. We wheel her in, blah, blah, blah. Stop me anytime. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is how I'm remembering it. So then I have to pull around, find a parking place, park, and now I have to bring this snake. It kind of seemed like I don't know if I walked back up there and asked him if I really had to bring the snake or.
I was already in the back when you brought it in.
Yeah, you were gone. You're in the hospital, so you're not a part of this story I'm telling now. So, but anyway, so I got the snake. I got it in the bag. I took it up there. The cop is outside at this time. So he opens it up, and this is COVID. So I'm arms, as far as I can reach. I'm handing him this bag, and it's he's got the junk, I've got the junk. We can't get close to each other. But anyway, so he gets the bag, and he sits it on the ground, opens it up. Yeah, that's a copperhead. I'm like, yeah, sure is. I don't know what happened to the snake. I have no idea if he took the snake inside and had to prove it to the doctor, or if he just chunked it in the garbage can right there outside, or if that's as far as it went. I don't know. Yeah. So I can't go inside. And, nobody can go inside. So guess what I do? I go all the way back down to the car, and I sit in the car. So I'm texting Amanda, hey, what's going on, all this stuff. And I don't remember the duration or how many times we text. We didn't text many, but I just wanted to know, what was going on and all that. And you can start in at any point of this.
All I remember is sitting in there. They draw a big circle on my foot, and we had to sit there and watch it for 2 hours because they were debating on whether to do the antivenom or not. Because, if you don't need it, you don't need it. You don't want to take it. And you can have reaction to the antivenom too. So I really did not want it. And so basically.
But you would have took it if you needed it.
I would have took it, yeah.
I would have took a chance on the reaction. Because, that's probably a small percentage. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and so I know it was every bit of 2 to 3 hours we had to sit in there and watch it. And y'all just stayed outside. But that was the worst feeling ever when nobody can come in there with you. I can't imagine what other people that were really sick and stuff.
Yeah, so this is the part that I didn't like is because of not being able to be in there. So when I'm texting her, like I said, I can't remember exactly how it was, but it was to the point to where she was telling me, they've drawn a circle, a mark around it. When the redness and the puffiness or whatever, when that redness gets to that mark.
Yeah, it was so swollen.
Yeah, and your whole foot was swollen, but that redness, kind of like a wasp bite type thing.
Yeah,
but
like how you watch a spider bite if the redness streaks out or whatever.
Yeah. So if the redness or streaks or whatever go past that round circle that they drew on your ankle, then it's like, it's game's on.
Yeah.
So, but as I'm finding this stuff out, she's telling me, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, keep me posted. And so I'm like, maybe 10 minutes or something. I don't remember what our last text was, but then I text you and how's things going? Nothing. I get nothing. I don't hear nothing. I don't get a response. So are you in cardiac arrest? Or did they wheel you somewhere? Is your phone dead? I don't know. Your phone's not dead. Can you just not get to your phone? But I'm thinking you're on an IV. You're having convulsions. I don't know. That's the worst part. And I can imagine everybody. And don't get me wrong, this is serious. A snake bite is serious. But I'm thinking like your spouse, your grandmother's had a heart attack or something, and they won't let you in, and you're just like waiting for hours and hours to know. She might be fine. She might be in a ventilator. She might be in ICU. You just don't know. Bless their hearts. I hate that. And I felt along that lines because I'm like, hey, if I can just walk in, if I can just get a head nod, if I can get a wave from the back room from my wife, I know everything's fine. But,
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
And then.
But I was mad about it when I found stuff out. But you go ahead.
Well, then when did they start telling us? They examined the snake, remember? Because they said.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. They said that it must have been a younger snake or an older snake because it only had one fang. So I got a dry bite.
I thought they just said that it just got you with one fang, and it was a dry bite. Even though it was a dry bite, you still got some.
Yeah, even though it was a dry bite, there were still some in there because it swelled.
Yeah, because what they mean is a dry bite is it's not hey, it's not soaking you full of venom.
Yeah, I just got one fang.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was horrible.
But this is the kicker that got me. So this whole time, they didn't have the anti-venom there.
Yeah, they didn't even have it.
Right. So we're waiting on this clock, hey, a certain amount of time or when this redness stuff goes outside that line, that once that happens, then we're sending you to Birmingham. Well, goofballs, if y'all would have told me.
What the heck?
Yeah. If y'all would have told me you don't have the anti-venom, bring my wife out here to me and I will drive to Birmingham and we'll be on standby in Birmingham. So when I get there and find out, hey, everything's good, it's not that bad, I'll be happy to drive me and her both back home. But don't let me sit outside wondering, we're all waiting to see how bad it's going to get. Then we're going to do something about it and see, fly you, drive you, ambulance you, whatever. Oh,
that was a bad experience.
That was the bad part. I was really mad about that. I'm like, come on.
Then the funny thing, when we finally got to come home, everything was fine. I couldn't walk though, but
well, no, you got to remember this too. I was thinking about. I was like, I need to. Nicholas was 15, 14.
Yeah,
something like that. So he's here by himself. And
he went with us, and you brought him back home.
Oh, see,
he went with us.
My mind.
I think he was a little scared too. So
yeah, that's it.
We gave him the option to go or stay.
That's a good thing you're here because I can't. Now, when I tell a story, people's going to think I'm lying. But you're filling in the pieces that I forgot about. That's right. So I did. That's right, because I did leave you because I'm like, there's nothing I could do. Once I finally found out that after that long pause of not hearing from you or hearing from anybody. Yeah, I took him home. And but that's just a bad when it's night. And I don't know what time, 10 o'clock, maybe. I mean, it was after, it was July 4th. We'd watched fireworks. It probably left at like 8 o'clock, 8 or 8:30 when we watched the fireworks, maybe?
Maybe. No, it was later than that.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. But still, so you're dropping your child off at home at, say, 10, 11 o'clock at night, and you're leaving them.
Going back.
Oh, I would be. If I was a kid, I'd be scared of it. They don't leave me. I'll stay with you. He don't care. No, he didn't care, but I did.
But then when we finally got to leave and come home, the funny thing that I remember, it was hard to get in the house, but so I made Jody look under our bed before I would ever get in the bed. Like, he had to turn the light on. He had to shine the light under it. Like, I was still kind of freaking out. I'm like, I can't do it. You have to look under the bed before I can go to bed.
I thought we was going to have to move.
Yeah, that's not our only snake story.
Oh, that's right. Well, to be honest with you, I had no idea that this episode was going to be about snake stories.
Of all the things, our first episode is about the thing I hate the most.
This was not the path I was going. I wanted to talk about this phone outage that we had a few days ago.
About the
I know
phone
you, but I was
outage.
going to tell you.
I mean,
and
I know we had it.
Yeah, but that was something I was like, hey, we better, or I couldn't communicate.
You better be ready when you get bit by a snake too.
Yeah, anyway,
so there you go.
All right, so we'll tell this other snake story. She will, and
No,
I'll
I
feel.
won't.
Well, you got to start it
Oh,
because it
okay.
starts with you, and then maybe we can end this thing.
Yeah. So Jody's job, he gets up early in the mornings and he goes to bed early with the roosters.
When she says early, I get up.
The roosters.
I get up
with
at
the roosters.
3 a.m. every morning.
And he goes to bed at 7.
Yeah, well,
it feels like 7.
8:30, 8 o'clock. I would like to be in bed. 8:30, I'm gonna be in bed. If it's 9 o'clock, that's bad for me. Now during the weekends, it's like Friday night, Saturday night. It's a little bit different, but I still. Which actually last night I stayed up.
Yeah, because you had a new toy to play with.
My goodness, it was like almost midnight when I went to bed because I'm playing with this podcast stuff, trying to figure out. Hey, let me tell you, did I tell y'all about how hard this is?
So anyway, let's go back to the snake story.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm just
get this out of the way. So I'm sitting in the living room. I don't know how long was this after I got bit by the snake. Probably just a few months.
Was this not before? I think this
was before.
Yeah, because you would have really, if this would have happened after your snake,
you're right.
you would have like
gone.
moved out.
So I'm sitting in the living room, and we have a fireplace. And how I didn't notice it before, I have no clue. But out of the corner of my eye, I see something on our fireplace, and I look up, and it's a daggum snake crawling on our fireplace. We have a mantle, and it just started crawling up it. Now, it was way far up the fireplace before I ever seen it. I don't know how it got that far before I ever seen it. But I've been terrified of snakes. Like, yeah, if they find one outside or whatever. But I calmly went back and woke Jody up. He was in the bed. And I think I just tapped on him and said, "There's a snake in the living room."
That's probably the calmest I've ever seen you in my life. But I was like dead asleep. And it's like, Jody, hey, there's a snake in there, or something like that.
And if I see him outside or whatever, I'm gone.
Well, I know, but it's a good thing because if you'd have came back here and just like, Jody, get up, something crazy like that, I would have thought like, yeah, there's a guy with a gun outside, and So yes,
so we just.
But there's a story with that too. But anyway, I get up and of course I don't remember what I was thinking at the time, but I go down.
It takes forever.
I go down the hall.
Because I'm like, don't break my stuff. Don't break my decorations.
Well, I'm not even to the point of me seeing the snake. Yeah, I'm just getting out of the bed. So I go down the hall, look in the living room, and sure enough, she's right. She didn't lie. There was a snake. But we've got it's a chicken snake. It was it
don't matter.
Yeah, we got a clock above the mantle, or we did at the time. And that joker was like halfway wrapped around it, just on like the top and the side, but his head and stuff was like, he was still trying to climb higher and everything. It was really amazing what he was doing, but it still was like, you're in my house and I don't want you in here. So now, you're thinking, I don't like snakes and I don't care what kind of snake it is. I'm going to kill it. But also, didn't want to put like a shotgun blast into the fireplace.
No.
So now we're like trying to figure out, how do I get this snake out of here and all that? And here we go again with the tote. I probably need to carry a tote everywhere because a tote comes in.
You use a tote.
I use a tote all the time. So here we go with the tote again. We decided that I think we got another shovel.
It was you and Nicholas. He was all about it. He was ready.
Oh, he was
going to grab it. He was just going to grab it.
He thought he was going to manhandle it. But
he thought he was a big
yeah,
man.
until he got closer to it. But anyway, so we get this snake. We get the tote, and I slam it up the tote up against the wall with the clock, and the snake falls in it, and we throw the lid on it, and I take it outside, and I kill it because he messed up my sleep. So he deserved to die. But yeah, so it wasn't long. So all we can figure out, now we've had squirrels build nests in our chimney from time to time.
We've had a squirrel in the house.
We've had a squirrel. That's
we've
right.
had more than one squirrel. We had a flying squirrel in the house one time when Jody worked nights. and we had the couch kind of in the middle of the floor, and I was wrapping Christmas presents.
This was the one when I was at the hunting club and spent the night.
No.
This one wasn't?
No, this was one night at Christmas, and I was in the floor wrapping Christmas presents, and it come in from the fireplace, and like it was a flying squirrel, so I didn't know what it was, and I remember I jumped the couch, and Jody's asleep on the couch.
This was a long
time ago. Like
this is 25 years ago. This is probably like a year or two. We'd been married a year or two.
Probably, yeah.
Because I don't sleep on the couch anymore.
No.
It never happens. I couldn't tell you the last time I slept on the couch.
He just slept on the couch.
And I don't even remember that.
That was our first encounter of an animal.
But
unwanted animal in our house.
But the other time was I was an hour away at a hunting club. I had a camper.
It was
down
Christmas
there.
time.
It was Christmas. Well, because
stupid Christmas.
Well, no, because hunting season is around Christmas time.
Yeah.
You know, so anyway, so there's no cell service, so I have no idea any of this stuff has happened while I've been gone. So when I get back, that Sunday,
I had to call my brother-in-law.
Yeah, I get home and said, she's like, I had to call Tim, your brother-in-law, to come get the squirrel out of the house.
Out of the Christmas tree.
Yeah. So.
Lord.
But anyway, so.
Our first episode, and we're talking about.
Oh, no. Hey, we could go into squirrels forever because we had.
We had 2 pet squirrels.
Yeah, we had squirrel. We've had a boat dock and a squirrel we called Barbie that had no tail. She had a nest in the outside closet on that boat dock.
Yeah.
And then the storm came and it knocked it all over and killed. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But anyway, so what we did with the chimney, what I'm trying to get to, is that we've had, since those instances and since the snake was the one that said, all right, we're done.
Or I'm out of this house.
Yeah. And I don't build a fire in that fireplace anymore. We used to years and years ago, because the wind off the lake, the way the flue is sitting, man, it just always, we just could not keep smoke from coming back in the house. And I'm sure there's plenty of people that says, oh, there's an easy fix for that. But trust me, I couldn't figure it out. So we just never had, and I like a good fire. But so I decided that I was going to get up on the roof, me and Nicholas, and we fixed it and to where the squirrels couldn't get inside from up there, and then from inside the chimney from in the house, I basically, got some plywood, all that stuff, and
sealed that thing up.
Sealed it up.
Whoever buys this house after we're gone or whatever out of here, they're gonna wonder what in the world. We should really write a letter and tell why we did that.
I could lay inside the chimney and I could write on that plywood up in there. I could write the stories.
Yeah.
The
stories of the critters.
Well, the people that have these older houses, when they're like remodeling, you hear these stories of they knocked this wall out and they found love letters from so-and-so or this, that, and the other. So, yeah. So there's that story.
As this first episode has been crazy and everywhere, not really what we expected, but hey, you get what you get. Well,
this is kind of what we're talking about. We're just going to talk about, some stuff doesn't make sense. Some stuff's just everyday, like this is just everyday life, stories. Everybody's got a story. You got something crazy that's happened in your life, more than one thing. And this is a few that I'd forgotten totally about. And I had never even thought about that at all, even especially talking about it on a podcast. I heard anybody, so. But yeah, hey, I enjoyed it. What do you think?
Fun.
It was fun. And it went by. We're like almost 36 minutes into this thing. And it just flew by. And my back is killing me. Because I'm leaning up this whole time talking in this mic. So
see, I'm chilled out over here on the couch.
She's sitting on the couch, or I don't know what you call it. She's curled up with a blanket.
I'm cold. He won't turn the heat on. He won't let me have any heat.
She's cold. I'm hot. You know how that goes. So, but yeah, hey, if you're listening, we appreciate it. And we just want to have fun with this thing. And if you do listen, we hope you enjoy it.
If you have any suggestions, let us know. Comment.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, we're off of Buzzsprout. We've got a website by the same name as the podcast, all that. We're going to have...
I'm used to just doing TikToks, so I tell people just to comment on my TikTok, so I don't know how this works.
Yeah, we've got Instagram.
We'll have a YouTube.
Yeah, we're going to start video at some point. I wanted to jump in all that one time, and I found out real quick I got slapped in the face by all this.
Slow your roll.
I got to slow my roll and figure all this out, especially the editing, the post-production part of this right here. Whew, let me tell you. It is something. I thought you could just throw and go.
He just wanted to get in here and record and put it out there.
Hey, let's talk. Let's hit play. Let's hit stop. And let's hit send. And it's out there.
And it's not that way.
No, it doesn't work that way. But anyway, so yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, but we're on Instagram right now. We'll have the Facebook account set up. We'll have TikTok. We'll eventually have the YouTube when we start the videos and all that stuff. So I mean, if you want to watch that way or see anything on there, hey, there you go. And yeah, we just appreciate it. And you got anything else?
I'm good. Thank you for listening.
Bye.